Hey, it's me, GV, and welcome to a handy, I always want to call him handy, a handy guide for Risk of Rain Returns, Providence Trial, Judgment, which handy is probably tied for the hardest along with Enforcer. We're going to start with Hitlist as usual, but we're going to make a bunch of weird item choices this run that seem to have worked out. I have no idea if they're like the best item choices to make. I've just been going with my gut, and it seems to work out. It doesn't take too long to get a victory with these characters. Hit list is obviously going to give us damage over time, which even though we're going to be going for a slower build, I feel like is still better than any of the other beginning choices. Maybe the Scepter would be good as well, but yeah, I'm going to start with hit list, and as usual, hope for some good hit list RNG to start building up those stacks early, and then we'll catch up with you every time we make an item choice. See you soon. Alright, so weird items for this run. I believe I grabbed the Scepter here to upgrade my ultimate, since we're going to be using the hammer as probably our main source of damage for this particular build. Gasoline's always good, lights the floor on fire, deals extra DPS. I'm going to go for the boxing glove here to punch enemies away. And I'm going to go for tough times instead of the guardian heart, because I feel like with Hand D, you're just always going to be getting hit no matter what, since you have to be so close to damage enemies. It's like you might as well have 14% damage reduction as opposed to a shield that's going to go away in like a second and, like, you know, be really hard to come back. So that's why I chose those. And yeah, the early game's really tough for Hand D, but if you can get through it, you might have a chance at the later stuff. Next up, we are going to go for, yeah, you'll see me doing a lot of thinking this run, because I'm like, what would be best? I'm going to go for Paul's Goat Hoof for the speed. I'm going to go for the Rusty Knife for the chance of bleed, which I have no idea if that was even that good this run. We're going to go for the Unstable Watch here, and then I believe I take the Golden Gun just to add some extra damage with all of the money so that my hammer hits harder. Moving on, I believe I take the Frost Relic here, since it'll be dealing constant damage to enemies all of the time. I think I also go for Crit Chance here. I basically try to stack a lot of different items for this run, so we just have a bunch of different effects. I grab the Ukulele, and then here I grab the Imp item. I have no idea how good this item is, but I decided to switch it up just because the other two probably weren't going to be that great. You might have better results with the barrier or with the shield, but yeah, I just wanted to see how good the Imp was. It's probably honestly not that good. As usual with this stage, remember that when you kill the giant purple wisp boss, he's going to spawn some green wisps, which you always want to be careful because they can kill you instantly. Alrighty, now we are probably going to take the Soldier's Syringe. Yeah, we take the Soldier's Syringe for some attack speed. Here I'm judging what I should take. I decide to go for the Missile Launcher for some extra damage. I also take the Crowbar, knowing the Crowbar will probably be our biggest claim to success here. And I also get an early Hopu Feather because mobility is Hand D's biggest weakness, I would say, so I want to be able to jump around. We got the Snow level again. So I'm going to grab a heal here because I notice I'm doing pretty well without having to need heals. Going to get the Repulsion Armor, an obvious choice on Hand D. Also the Spike Strip. Going to go for another Rusty Knife here to try to stack Bleed. And at this point I go for the, I forget what it's called, but the thing on the left there, the Leech or whatever, the Toxic Centipede. Just because I figure, you know, we're going to be up close and personal with a lot of enemies. We can try out some different stuff that you don't normally take on ranged survivors in Risk of Rain. All right, so moving right along, I grab another heal. I decide to take the Crowbar, which is big for the hammer since it'll deal a lot of damage right off the get-go. Predatory Instincts, even though I'm not going for an attack speed build here. And then I decide to take the Toxin because I feel like enemies will be touching me all the time, so I might as well be weakening them back. And then as usual, I take the Grenade. Not really sure if the other two options are better than the Concussion Grenade, but yeah, because I feel like I don't see the Concussion Grenade happen too often or trigger too often. Okay, and here we're going to go for the Tesla Coil since we're going to be close to a lot of enemies. You want to be dealing damage constantly. I believe I take Rapid Mitosis here as well in order to have a lower cooldown on the stopwatch, which as usual is extremely helpful to completing these runs. I'm also going to get a Guardian's Heart finally, just to add an extra little bit of shield. And then I'm not even sure what I take here because honestly all three are kind of very meh for this build we're going for, but it looks like I grab another Ukulele. And then as usual we have the Toxic Beast level, which you have to just be very careful. Luckily Hand D is able to withstand quite a lot since we can constantly heal back with the drones. So I'm able to sit here for quite a long time actually. Okay, next up, I think I take another Frost Relic just to stack the Frost Relic effect since we'll be so, you know, close quarters with a lot of stuff. I think I go for a Sticky Bomb here just to start, you know, varying up the items that I have in total. I go for a Barbed Wire here, which I have no idea if that's actually effective or not, but, you know, some of these choices are just, you know, go with your gut. It's not going to make a huge difference. And then as usual, the Harvester's Scythe, which actually might not be the best choice because I noticed I wasn't healing all that much near the end of the run. So you might be able to switch that choice up and have better results. I'm not sure. But here we're going to stick to the left side as usual, get rid of the left robot, then the middle robot, not trigger the right robot. Although I think I go for the right robot immediately after killing the middle robot just because I figure that I can, but I think I get a little low at one point here. And we have the Providence Fight, which is probably going to be the hardest part of this entire run. You know, depends on which survivor you're playing, how hard Providence is going to be. Providence is going to be really hard. I'm going to get the lens maker's glasses here, and then I think I'm going to go for the middle option here, which is going to be the Wicked Ring, reducing my cooldowns, get the scarf as usual. And again, the scythe might not be the best option. I don't know. It just didn't seem to be healing me all that much, since we're not going for a speed build and we're not going to be hitting all that much. But yeah, Providence with Hand D is tough because you obviously have to stay close to him. So the unstable pocket watch is huge here. Basically, I tried to save it for when when he was, you know, not invincible and when I could finish him off. So I think I use it on the second half of his first bar, and then I use it on the second or the last third of his last bar. So yeah, you have to really, you know, utilize the stopwatch, like when he's not invincible and when you can actually hit him. And then other than that, it's just jumping around, avoiding all the stuff, and praying to God. Also, you can farm the little dudes to add extra heals, which is really, really integral as well. But hope this guide helped. Thanks so much for watching. Please support the video and the channel. You can do so by leaving comments and likes, and then check out the Patreon if you'd like to be in the credits, as well as if you'd like access to all 7 of my channels. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.